Hello and welcome to another installment of the Zionsville Football Fantasy Football League Fantasy Football Podcast. This week brought to you, as always, by Sleeper. Sleeper, the only fantasy football app made for fans by fans. This is the show where we take a look into the details and goings-on in the league because we all know our commissioner won't. I'm here with my co-host as usual, Mr. RJ Wagner. RJ, how are you doing?
Ted, you didn't let me get the sixth win to clinch last week. This week, I got it. Finally got a win over the bank, too. It feels like it's been forever because I know he swept me last year. And this is my first time beating him this year, so it felt good. I also just want to shout out one of our most avid fans and listeners. I know that he watches all the time, Donald Trump. Congratulations on becoming the next president of the United States again. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, Ted, let's get the pod rolling.
Our avid listener, and it's my pleasure to introduce our special guest. You know him as the Stat Man, or maybe just Kyle. Kyle, how are you doing?
Happy to be here, Ted. Happy to be here. I wish I was here on better circumstances after a win, but always good to see your guys' smiling faces.
Likewise.
So, you've kind of teased it. Let's get into the recap. Let's talk about your matchup this week, Kyle. Kevin beats you 123 to 122. Closer than it was because Kevin could have put Josh Downs in. But Kevin had Saquon and Josh Allen combined for 60 combined. Everything else for them was icing on the cake. Kyle, just another tough week for you where you do a lot, but not enough. Zay Flowers with 28, Jaden Daniels with 24. Got to be feeling good. I think Jamar let you down. James Cook really didn't do you anything. A tough loss. RJ, do you have anything to add in before Kyle laments and cries and throws in the towel?
Yeah, I don't know, Ted. I don't know if Kevin could have put in Josh Downs because according to Jack, Kevin was just caught sleeping. I mean, he just had no how crazy was that? No one we had someone do it in the flex, and he still would. Everyone literally saw it, knew that he took him out. But yeah, anyways, another unlucky loss for you, Kyle. Back-to-back unlucky losses. It's just been that type of fantasy year for you. Sound like a broken record, I feel like, on the podcast, but talent-wise, you do have a scary team. Sure, James Cook underperformed this week. Jamar only getting 43 yards. No touchdowns with Burrow throwing 5 of those things. But besides that, respectable numbers, really. I have one stat for you, Kyle. James Cook, he averaged 77% of the rushing game share for the last 3 weeks. This week, that dropped 20% down to 57%. And he has not seen a snap share over 60% since week 1, having Ray Davis, I think is his name, or whatever it is. And then Josh Allen taking away goal line carries. Not a good look for him. But good stat for you, Zay Flowers, target share of at least 30% in 3 of 4 games and 29% in 4 of 5. Deontay Johnson just ran 6 routes on 17 snaps. Not really sure what they're going to use him for, but I don't think he's going to take anything away from Zay Flowers. For Kev, Saquon, Josh Allen, nuclear. Saquon, his
Nuclear.
run. Or did you guys see that little pass? That was one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
Jumping back. Did you see the video at the sideline too?
Yeah, they were all just
if you can make a whole sideline of professional athletes, jaw drop. It's insane.
Yeah, that and Amon-Ra scoring a touchdown in rainy Lambeau. I don't know if you saw he showed up in a sweatshirt that just said Green Bay sucks. And for him to score like that and the Lions to do what they did is pretty cool. One fact for Kevin, Tony Pollard hasn't had a game all year with a sub 10% target share. He has scored, I know we're half-point PPR, but this stat's full point. He scored between 14 and 19 PPR points in 75% of games this year. Definition of consistency from a guy I didn't really see it from. Thought Tajay Spears would have more work. And from where Kevin drafted him, I think in round 9 maybe, definitely worth it. And I know Kevin had Downs in his starting lineup and took him out. But could you imagine if he decided to go as Xavier Worthy? Oh, my God.
I mean, yeah, that would have been all time if he left him in and he ended up getting negative. Yeah, I mean, it's another week for me where I feel like my team is very good, and there's not a lot that I like. You get it 122, you should win the fucking game.
Yeah.
It doesn't even seem mathematically possible for Joe Burrow to throw 5 touchdowns and not one of them go to Jamar Chase.
That's rough.
With T. Higgins injured too.
Higgins, whatever, Yossi Vash, whatever.
Yaseki.
Yeah, and
Yossi Vash.
Yeah, well, isn't he the number 3? I think, right? Yeah, behind the two of them, the Yossi on whatever. Anyway, whatever. Yeah, I'm a little worried about James Cook, but I mean, we can get into this going forward, I guess, when we do next week. But getting Nico back should be huge. Then I can slide. Hopefully, Zay Flowers down into the flex. And then I mean, DeAndre Swift has been double-digit machine the last 6 or 7 weeks. So, last year at this point, I had kind of realized my team was terrible. And I think it was the same record. I can go back and look. This year I'm in the exact same spot, and I feel like on any given week I could beat anybody. And I'm 3-6. So I don't know. To me, it just feels like let's just get it in the playoffs and then see if we can put all this bad luck behind us and have it, out the window. And maybe Ted can give me some of his, which we can get. I'm sure we'll get into when we get to that. But Kevin's, I mean, yeah, it's when you have 2 players combined for 60 points, it's hard to beat. I think I had one other thing written down. I can't find it though.
Have you looked at the breakdown, Kyle, at all?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Where you are?
I'm
third. Third. Yeah. Third.
Yeah. Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah. But it's funny that I'm third in the breakdown and I'm 500. That's just how it's pretty top heavy, and then everybody at the bottom just getting smoked every week, but it's eking out.
I feel like
there where they have to.
You're in a similar spot to where I was last year. Like my points against were brutal, but every week I felt like I lost, but I had such a good team. I thought that I wasn't. I mean, I was worried. I definitely didn't want to be in the come game, but I didn't feel too bad.
Yeah, no, and I will now that the one thing I felt like I was missing was a quarterback. Like Patrick Mahomes is the biggest dud ever, and then I just couldn't find one. And then, of course, I trade for Jaden Daniels, and he gets fucking hurt the first week I play him. It's just been one of those years. But, I feel like we're over the hump on all. Every single week I have put up – I haven't had a dud week in 9 weeks. So, we'll put it together. I'm not too worried.
And I didn't even know Nico was coming back until I was prepping for the next week thing. I had no idea that he was coming back already. So that's huge.
Yeah. I mean, and then we'll talk about it. I don't know what I'm going to do with Zay Flowers because I don't know. They play Thursday night, and that's going to be tough to have to make that call. But yeah, no. All in all, I mean, kudos to Kev. He beat me without a flex. Even though it's kind of a pussy move to not run it up, but whatever. I would have left him in.
Wow. Really calling out Kev. But, everyone agrees. But yeah, Kevin moving to 5-4 is definitely, I think Kev's got to be feeling a lot more comfortable than he would at 4-5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've got some through 9 week stats we can get into once we go. Let's go through all of them first, and then I got some playoff stuff.
Yeah, let's keep rolling. Let's talk about a guy feeling comfortable. RJ got that 6th win, and he's making Monty feel very uncomfortable. 131-109 for RJ. Joe Burrow went nuclear with almost 40 points, but you had Mixon with 16, Devonta Smith with 17, Kadon with 18, really doing a lot of work there. And then for Monty, Jalen Hurts was the lone real bright spot. A.J. Brown with 5 and Joku with 5. Will Lutz with 4. Real letdowns from them, all things considered. RJ, how'd you feel stomping Monty down further into the cellar?
Yeah, Ted, another huge performance from Burrow. Second time this year of 5 touchdowns in a game. I really can't believe I rage dropped him after week 1 with 7 points, and I just decided to pick up a new quarterback. But glad I got him back. Devonta Smith has been consistent with 12 to 17 for me all year. I started Puka, and he just decides to start throwing punches and get ejected. I had to call him into my office and talk to him like Kevin had to for whoever hit Josh Allen.
Yeah, Josh.
But yeah, scoring 131 with a guy that got ejected and got 1 point feels pretty good. For Monty, like you said, good performance from Jalen Hurts. I believe that was the first time he's been in his starting lineup for a while since he picked up Jordan Love. But for his team, I know A.J. Brown got hurt, but you really expect more out of all of his players, except for Kareem Hunt and James Conner. That one would have – Big Shea needed that one. You know, a lot of question marks, I feel like, on his team going forward. Not a great place to be. One stat for him, Breece Hall, running back rush share in week 8 was 57%. Last week, 79%. So it went up 22%. And he has not had a game of less than 12% target share all year. Now, the reason I bring that up as a bad thing is he's getting so many opportunities. And now through week 9, you can kind of get a feel on what he'll do with all those opportunities. And it is jack shit. He's getting the ball, getting not very good stats, at least compared to the opportunities he's getting. We talked about the terrible success rate last week. He is just inefficient. I said it last year, and I feel like I bring it up a lot on this podcast. Jets players, Jets offense, they suck. Even though they won, he's not a round 1 running back. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah, I thought you had more, but yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
I was just reading the little notes under here, and RJ, it says you have continued to defy the pundits and have beaten your projected score 7 weeks in a row.
Hell yeah.
I don't know that we've. I don't mean to do this just because we're on the pod, but I don't think RJ has gotten enough flowers for the job he has done, considering what has happened to everybody on his team. It seems like there is a different person hurt every single week. I mean, when you the number 1 drafted player hasn't played a snap. And then I was just running through looking at the draft too. I mean, like, your 2 of your top 3 players drafted have played 3 games total. And that's including the last one where Puka got ejected. But he did play. So basically they've played 2 games out of 18. Yeah, I mean, all things considered, it's pretty remarkable what you have been able to turn your team into. So hats off there. But yeah, and then on the flip side, I mean, things are looking bleak for the Big Shea. The massive matchup this week with myself. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. That was kind of all I had here, other than, you know, it was basically a tale of 2 completely different teams on 2 completely different trajectories. RJ can't seem to lose, and Monty cannot find a win to save his life.
I got an anonymous text after this past week that said, "I'm ready to call last year a Bink fluke." Now they are all out on the Bink.
Wow.
So he needs to do something fast.
We might have to have a Bink response next week, because that is a serious Binksation.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he's playing me, so he'll probably put up like 151.
Well, no matter what he puts up, you'll put 2 or 3 less.
Yep.
Yeah,
exactly.
You can put up 87, you'll put up 84. He puts up 150, you put 146.
Yeah, 100%.
And speaking of some unfair wins, we've got my matchup against Jack. This was one that Jack really needed, but he did not get it. His team just did not do enough. I beat him 121-100. Derrick Henry, Kamara leading the way. I've been just praising them. They're doing great. You might think they're old. You might think Kamara's on a bad team. Doesn't matter. Kyle Pitts, Bears D were my only players in single digits. So really good all around. Dak Prescott, it's sad that he had to die, but honestly, I'd piss on his grave for how he's led me. But then looking at Jack, JT really leading the way for letdowns for him. Just all around some pretty bad scores. But Bijan, Cup, and Darnold, how many points total they have? They had over half. Those three players had over half his points. But just looking at his team, just not quite enough. He did break 100, though. So I guess Jack's got that. He probably likes seeing 100. RJ, what do you got to say about this one?
Yeah, Ted, your running backs, incredible. I mean, they are a scary, scary duo, which I did not see coming this year. Wideouts with respectable numbers. Terry really getting saved considering he had
two catches for touchdowns. I got the touchdown alerts and was like, he's going off. Oh my gosh. He had 19 yards, two touchdowns.
Kyle Pitts, really that type of tight end to go nuclear for 23 against me last week, then 1 the next. You got to hate that volatility. Kamara saw a 32% target share against the Panthers this past week. Only one other running back has hit that mark this year, and that's Justice Hill, believe it or not. For Jack, JT and the Colts offense looks abysmal. I remember it might have been draft night. We said, because he drafted AR and Pittman. I don't know. I just knew he had a lot of Colts on his team because we were saying that his fantasy team would reflect the Colts team.
And it has.
Well, it kind of has because the Colts aren't looking good, and neither is his team. Bijan looked great. Would have loved to see him score. Cooper Kupp with Puka deciding to throw some hands. You would want him to score. He did not. And now Tyrone Tracy might be coming back down to earth a little bit. Jack needs a win and needs one bad.
Yeah. I'm done trying to figure out Teddy's team. And, I don't know. Like, whatever. He'll just win every single game. And it is what it is. Like, I in my head, I'm like, okay, I'm going to be worried that Kamara might fall off because the wheels on the Saints bus seem to be falling off pretty hard, considering they just fired their coach and the Saints are awful. And then Derrick Henry's old and he's going to rush for like 2,000 yards. But again, is he going to get hurt? I don't know. But he probably not because he's on Teddy's team. Yeah. I have as far as the games missed thing I was tracking, Teddy's team isn't even averaging a full game missed. And almost everybody has had a bye. Like, I don't think you've had anybody not play that you drafted in one game ever, because that's including buys. You're under one. You're the only one that's under one. So I can go back and look to see like if somebody got hurt here or there, but you are far and away the healthiest team so far, which ties into all the other lucky shit that Teddy's pulled all year long. So again, I don't even know why I'm questioning it. And then also in my made up little draft stat, Jack now has the worst draft team, excluding injuries. So another one similar to Monty, where and I guess myself too. We got somebody's got to get this train going in the right direction. Because we can't all keep losing. We all got to keep playing each other. I think we all play each other again still. So somebody's going to find a couple wins. But yeah, this is I mean, what have we done? 3 games now. There's some clear separation. It's similar to the NFL too. How I feel like there's like a few really good teams and then a ton of shit teams. Yeah. And there are like 3 really good teams and 4, maybe, I don't know, not good at all teams.
Yeah.
And so we'll see going forward. But yeah, nothing to write home about for Jack this week. And then, of course, just put another one in the win column for Ted.
Yeah, now that you mentioned, I'm pretty sure Dak is my first actual injury. Like some people have been kind of questionable or something. I think Dak is my first injury, and I'm really happy about it because now I can feel a lot better about just dropping him because he sucked.
It looks like Kelsey missed one game.
Yeah.
And then Thielen obviously got hurt.
Oh,
but
damn.
You drafted him in the 15th round. So, if that worked out, great. But other than that, every single player on your team has played either 8 or 9 games.
That's got to feel nice.
And on the flip side, RJ hasn't had a player play 8 games until the player he drafted in the 7th round.
Unbelievable.
You got to look at health, RJ.
And that's DJ Moore. So.
Oh, and I don't even have DJ Moore.
Right. So David Montgomery would all the way in the 9th round.
He is healthy usually. Yeah.
Well, is the only healthy player you've drafted.
Don't clip that yet. He'll break his leg. He'll break his leg next week.
Mm-hmm.
Well, moving on to someone who was supremely lucky, or you might not even call it luck because he's been working. Trevor beat Chase 172 to 88, gave Chase a taste of his own medicine from last year. Trevor went nuclear. Let me count it. He had 5 players over 24 points. The Saints D was his lowest score with 3, but it didn't even matter. Chase, on the other hand, he had 4 players with 5 or below. Baker and Devontae Adams, both with about 20 each. There is bright spots, but not looking bright for his future for Chase. RJ, how do you feel about this tough beat down on Chase?
Murder. Absolute murder. I feel wrong even talking about it. Trevor's just rubbing it in my face, how I spoke early on in the season about him relying on his defense and kicker. Yeah, don't even need him. I mean, every position player just went off. Chase's running backs, they did fine. 10, you'd kind of want more than that. Receivers honestly did fine too, but, tight end, flex, DJ Moore. Kicker and defense, 87 points, not good. I see no leadership on his team. They really need to, have a players only meeting, figure it out where the leadership's going to come from to be able to turn this thing around. But like I said with Jack, Chase needs a win, and he needs a win bad. Maybe while he's down here in Tampa, he's flying in. We'll be here in 4 hours for the Niners-Bucks game.
Has anybody ever been doubled up points-wise before? Not that I can think of.
That is last year, RJ?
When I don't think
Chase scored 195.
95. I don't think I was doubled up because I usually still scored a respectable amount. Not 87.
I mean, yeah. This was over 20 minutes into the day. It seemed like when you were looking at Game Center. I mean, and we were on, record watch there for a minute. If there's a clear favorite, I think it's Trevor, which is pretty remarkable also, considering everybody's thoughts of Trevor's team after the draft. So, and even Trevor acknowledged he thought he drafted a shitty team. So, good for Trev, I guess. Yeah, it'd be awesome to put up, to be even considering sitting there on Sunday afternoon, I might score 200. Must just feel awesome.
And it's consistent with them this year. I don't think we've ever seen this type of consistency at the top of the board.
Yeah.
If you look at the true ranking on, it's across from the breakdown, but it looks at the record, your points for, the breakdown, and the coach score.
Yeah.
The coach is like how well you do compared to your optimal lineup.
Oh,
Trevor is top across the board.
Jesus.
Trevor is just dominating every facet. He
I-
heard us talking.
I hate this is off topic, but I absolutely hate the coach thing because
Yeah.
if you pick up a guy mid game, that counts against your coach score.
Yeah,
Like
you get penalized for having a good bench.
Yeah, well, no, I guess I get that part. Like, it's who you start, but the fact that if I pick someone up with things going on just because we don't have a waiver wire, it counts against your coach. Like, that's annoying. But.
Yeah, Trevor's point differential per game this year is 17. I mean, he's just beating the shit out of people.
Something that the sportsbook should look into. Maybe
something. Maybe Trevor should be betting on himself.
Yeah, maybe the public could be looking at that line. He's usually winning by 17. We haven't had a line at 17 or anything.
And also, just another funny Ted stat: the league average points per game is 114, but when Teddy's average points against is 104.
Jeez.
Fantasy defense.
I mean, come on.
That's insane.
Fantasy defense.
Yeah. I think at Trevor's 127, I can go back and look. He's averaging 127 points a game. I think that would be a record if he keeps that up. So, yeah, nuts. And then on the flip side, Chase's point differential is negative 17. 16.7. So Chase is just getting the piss beat out of him every week.
Oh, yeah.
God. And then everybody else is within like 4 or 5.
Chase is the lowest points for and highest points against.
Well, that's it for the Week 9 recap. And I think we're kind of teetering into the through 9 week stat extravaganza, if I may make up a word.
Yeah.
Isn't that what you called it, Kyle?
I don't know if I said that, but sure. I went and looked because I feel like through 9 weeks, things water's kind of found its level for the most part. So I went back and looked at 21, 22, and 23, since that was when we went to, 14 weeks in the regular season. And I sent that thing yesterday in the group about, different people being 3-6 or worse.
Mm-hmm.
I also looked at through 9 weeks, the best records and who got a bye and who won the championship. And we've never had anybody be 8-1 through 9 weeks since 2021. So 7-2 is the high water mark there. 7-2 or 6-3. The worst they finished was 4th, and that was Kevin in 2022.
That sounds about right.
Him and you, Ted, were tied at 6-3.
Wait, the worst someone with a 7-2 or 6-3 record after 9 finished 4th. So the fact that we have 3 and the worst based off of history is 4th.
Yep.
There's a 75% chance that me, Trevor, or Teddy are going to win the championship because we're going to finish in the top 4. 3 of the top 4.
Yeah, I mean, based on that, yeah. And then but then also every single one of the top 2 through 9 weeks got a bye except for Monty last year, and Monty won the championship.
Wow. Monty didn't have a bye last year?
Monty did not have a bye last year.
Oh, wow.
And he ended up winning the championship. He finished 8-6 in the regular season, and that was the worst finish of anybody that was 6-3 or better, 8-6.
Mm-hmm.
So that is one there. And then also I went and looked at the middle of the road because Kev's 5-4, right? Or 4-5. No, he's 5-4.
5-4.
only one time did a team 5-4 not make the playoffs, and that was Chase in 2022, and he got last. But he was 5-4 through 9 weeks, and then he lost 5 in a row and went 5-9.
Wow! Oh my
Yeah.
god!
So
What was that? 21? You said
22.
22. Damn.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that has to be a killer.
he was 5-4 through 9 weeks, and then lost 5 in a row and got last. So I guess he lost 6 in a row because he went last place game.
Oh, that's brutal.
Brutal. But other than that, everybody made the playoffs. Oh, and then Kevin went 4-5 in 21 and ended up missing the playoffs at 4-5. But nobody 5-4 has missed the playoffs except for Chase. And then also nobody 5-4 has gotten a bye either. So basically it's a 3-horse race for the 2 byes.
Yeah.
And then what was that?
Did you do that?
Do the peace sign again. I have no idea what these effects are.
That's funny.
Oh, that's so bad. Damn it.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Oh, and then I really quickly went through the 3-6 or 2-7 teams. We also haven't had anybody be 1-8 either. So I guess kudos to everybody there. Every team that started 3-6 or worse did better the last 5 weeks of the regular season in terms of points per game. Their scoring went up those last 5 weeks, and still nobody's even made the championship that started 3-6 or worse, let alone win it. So if history repeats itself, or is any indicator, we have essentially 3 teams that can win a championship right now.
Wow.
Putting pressure. Should we already start working out a deal for the championship game, Ted?
I'm thinking, yeah.
I think so.
Yep. And then I think that was all I had. Let's see.
Good stuff.
Oh, and Trevor in 2022 was 4-5 through 9 weeks and won the championship.
Oh, wow.
So
we don't have anyone that's 4-5 right now, right?
No. So that is the only that I found, the only sub 500 team through 9 weeks that has won a championship. It's Trevor at 4-5. But we only have somebody that's 3-6. So
yeah,
that would be a first.
Wow. That's good stuff. Thank you, Kyle.
Of course. That's why I'm here.
That is definitive. Like, why even play the rest, RJ? Congrats.
Yeah.
There's a 66% chance one of us gets the bye.
Perfect.
Ooh.
I also didn't really want to do all the percentages because it just takes forever. So yeah, let's just look at this instead. Yeah.
Ted, you swept me this year, right?
Yes.
Did you beat
I did.
Trevor, or did Trevor beat you?
Trevor beat me because I got a special gift.
Oh yeah, I still haven't gotten it because I beat him. So if I beat him again and you beat him, I don't know. Never mind. I'm just trying to think about any
Scenarios, tiebreakers.
I did this for the bottom 4 teams. If I beat Monty this week, I will at least be 1-1 against Jack, Monty, and Chase.
That's huge.
Yeah. So I got some timely wins when I needed them, at least for the tiebreakers.
Which
Monty, so have you only
you? But
Monty beat me the first time, but if I beat him this time,
yeah,
we'll be 1-1, and then I beat Jack, and Chase.
Yeah. That's why this is a literal must-win this week for Monty against you.
Mm-hmm.
If Monty's like second win wasn't against me and it was against like Chase or Jack, then if Monty won this week, that would be massive. But he still has some work to do.
Yep.
We're kind of tickling it. Let's get into the preview, but before that, we have a quick word from our sponsor.
All natural, all good.
I'm sure it seems all good from the outside, but my husband's off gambling again. I feel so alone, but it doesn't have to feel this way.
Go ahead.
As we begin the preview of Week 10 of the 2024 ZFFFL, I must remind you of our great sponsorship over at our ZFFFL ASICS Sportsbook, ASICS Footwear. Come ride every inch of the road in our ASICS Nova Blast. Those aren't even ASICS.
Yeah, they're ASICS. They're ASICS. Nova Blast.
These shoes know how to handle a little rough terrain and keep you bouncing back again and again. Slip in tight, hold on, and let it take you there. It feels so good. ASICS. A sound mind is a sound body.
Yeah. ASICS. Let it take you there.
Ted and I were talking about how we were going to get sued one of these days.
Oh, yeah. Literally,
No,
their tag
ASICS loves us.
mind is a sound body.
ASICS loves us. All right, so why don't we get into it? We've got our first matchup. I'm calling this the PetSmart underdog matchup because it's two people that have really been counted out. We've got Chase at 3-6, and me for some reason is 7-2. People keep calling me an underdog. Chase really needs to get out of that 3-6 cellar. CD having Cooper Rush throw to him is pretty tough, but he needs Aaron Jones, Kyron Williams, Brian Robinson to prop up that team because his wide receivers just keep failing him. And me, I just need Kamara and Derrick Henry. Keep giving 50 a week. That'll keep me doing great. I've got Kirk at QB for now, but could, be playing with some other people. RJ, how does the sportsbook feel about this matchup?
It's excited for Monday night. Tyreek versus Kyron. As long as it's close, that should be fun to watch. Both Chase's running backs are seeing bottom 7 defenses against the run, while you, Ted, Derrick Henry are facing a top 10 rushing defense. Books still favor you, Ted, by a good bit. -6.5.
Dang.
So I didn't realize I was looking at Trevor's little record keeper for college game day that I think I'm
You're
still
at the
first,
top,
right? I'm first, right?
Yeah,
okay.
you're 75%.
What was the line again?
6.5 to Ted.
And is Trevor's record against the spread, or is that?
I think there's
Straight
spreads, unless the sports book line is a pick'em.
Okay. I'll just go with Teddy just because, of course. I mean, all he does is win. So,
Don't bet against the streak.
I think we'll know pretty soon on this one, given the Thursday night game, and how reliant Teddy's team is on Derrick Henry.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, but I mean, I don't know. Chase has to win this, or if Chase loses this and I beat Monty, I mean, we might as well just start the playoffs already. Like, it's going to be basically over. So, yeah, must win for Chase. I don't remember if Teddy had the tiebreakers for the buys, but we'll call it I don't know. Teddy, you can lose. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
This is a can't lose matchup.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
Well, I'll take it. Now looking at our next matchup, we've got what I'm calling the Smucker's Grudge matchup because these two really hate each other. It's RJ versus Jack. RJ really needs Burrow to go nuclear, but I'm looking at his wide receivers, and they're looking a little rough for RJ with T. Higgins, questionable. Who knows? Puka getting in fights. But RJ really needs. I see he's got Christian McCaffrey in his lineup. He's hopeful. And then Jack, on the other hand, he just needs his team to not let him down. He's still got Darnold at quarterback, but JT, Bijan, and Debo, I really think need to bounce back. But RJ, how does the sportsbook feel? And maybe you can put your own thoughts after, but how does the sportsbook feel?
I'll go ahead and give my opinions first. I hope this is a close one going into Monday night because this one should be fun to see. Poopa Nakua, which is my favorite for me all season, and Pooper Fuck go ahead. If we get CMC back, I'll be at the game, so that should be electric. I am without Kenneth Walker, who's on a bye this week, so I really would appreciate getting him back. Get started Thursday, like you said, with Big Joe and possibly T. Higgins. I've loved the direction that I've gotten at tight end, at the tight end position with Kate Otten after losing Godwin.
It's 2 years in a row you've gotten some random tight end off the waivers and absolutely killed it.
Yeah.
I'd say 4 years. Trey McBride, Tyler Conklin, now Kate Otten.
But might put Jake Ferguson in. He's been fine too, just for a little revenge game since Jack did drop him. The books like me, but they are sensing a little bit of public pressure from one side, so they've even upped it a little more. And with Tucker Kraft being on a bye, I am a 9.5 point favorite.
Okay. Is Christian McCaffrey actually supposed to play?
He's practicing.
No one has seen him.
I thought they just opened his window or whatever.
He's practicing. I saw video of him practicing, so I don't know.
I heard he was doing simulated workouts and he was just playing Madden. That's how they. You saw footage of him playing Madden.
He was wearing long pants, and I think I saw one of those amputees wear in the Olympics. He's really just an amputee.
But how much is he going to play?
Good question.
I think I'm going to take Jack to cover. I'm going to take RJ to win.
Wow.
I guess I'll talk. I'm sorry. I guess I could probably say more in one sentence. It's kind of a trap with McCaffrey because if he plays, I don't know how much you can bank on him to really do a whole lot in his first game. But then on the other hand, it is Christian McCaffrey, and you feel like an idiot if you didn't play him and he, comes in and scores twice. So that'd be tough. I don't know what I would do if say he was on a snap count, I could move David Montgomery down, and I could still play Devonta Smith, and I'd feel fine. So I don't know. And then is T. Higgins going to play too? He didn't practice yesterday.
That's another. I have no idea.
Yeah, that's scary. I don't know, because you could really screw yourself there with, you say you play both of them and then they're both on snap counts and you're just like, oh well, shit. Yeah. And T. Higgins Thursday too. That sucks.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm gonna stand with it. I'm gonna take Jack to cover.
I like it. We'll see if the public bets come in on that side, considering they've hinted at a reasoning for their bets that are going on right now. I don't know.
Ooh, taking a look at our next matchup. This is the Hims Grooming I'm Him matchup. We've got Trevor versus Kevin. I think everyone has called these two teams. They're the top two of the points for, and I think whoever wins this will really sort of solidify themselves as sort of being the top dog, because there's a lot of murmuring about Kevin, but Trevor's just been wowing everyone, and if Kevin took him down, that'd be big. Kev just needs Josh Allen and Saquon to keep being that nuclear power plant. But if Amon-Ra and Drake London could wake up, that'd be great for Kevin. And then Trevor, what can you even say? How many did he end up with? 11 or 12 touchdowns last week?
He had.
Not sure.
But yeah, he just needs Lamar. Yeah, he just needs Lamar to keep doing it. He's got A-Chain, Dobbins. If they just keep up production, I don't think he'll have a problem. RJ, how's the sportsbook feel about this one?
Yeah, Ted, another matchup that really gets started hot Thursday night with Trevor having Lamar and Chase Brown. JJ could really eat in Jacksonville against a bottom three defense against wide receivers. Brandon Aubrey has fallen off here with back-to-back single-digit performances and now facing a top 10 defense against the kicker, so watch out there. For Kev, Kittle, Amon-Ra, Saquon, all facing bottom six defenses against their respective positions. Is this Saquon's first Eagles-Cowboys rivalry game, or have they already played? You know?
Getting word from our stat department.
They have not.
Yeah, they haven't.
So that could be huge. Big game for him. What'd you say, Ted?
I said our stat department.
Could see a big game from him then. Kevin starting Ramondre Stevenson, who Jack dropped, at least as of now. I'm sure there's still things that Kevin's deciding on his lineup, whether he wants to go Tony Pollard or not, maybe Tank Dell if Nico isn't good to go, because I didn't even realize Nico had a possibility of playing, or maybe is playing for sure. I don't know. Who Jack also dropped, Tank Dell. This one's very close, though. The book is offering a pick'em line to them each at plus 100 if they want to go head-to-head for a max bet of $500.
Wow.
The book will hold the money and give the winner $1,000. No, but for you, if the book is taking the line, the book's line has Trevor minus 3.5.
So they get an alternate line.
Yeah,
and you're like you're escrow.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Do they both have to bet it?
Yeah, they would both have to bet it.
Okay.
I'm not putting $500 down. Or the book isn't. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Trevor minus 3.5 for you, Kyle.
Trevor minus 3.5. Well, we'll know a lot after Thursday. I mean, everybody's matchup has something to do with Thursday. It seems like.
Yep.
If Lamar goes off, it's going to be uphill battle for Kev. I have a hard time betting against somebody who just put up 180 points. So I'm just going to take Trevor. And I mean, nothing against Kev. I think Kev seems good. Mm-hmm. But if you can put up 180 in a week, I have a hard time looking the other way. So, yeah, he's got some good matchups too. I mean, JJ against like you said, against the Jags. And isn't the Cardinals secondary really bad?
Not much in the Cardinals is great.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Plus divisional game against the for the Bengals and Ravens. I mean, that just screams like the weather's going to be shitty and Lamar is going to run for like 150 yards.
Yep. Or Derrick Henry for Ted.
Yeah, that's it. Can you explain the Smuckers ad? I don't get it.
So I was just going I made a PBJ while I was doing the. We were kind of running out of sponsors.
Okay. God,
And
I've been thinking about it for like 10 minutes, and I was like, I don't understand. What does that have to do with?
There wasn't a huge storyline there.
Okay.
You get a lot of sponsors. Well, moving on to the marquee matchup of the week. This is the Rolex It's Game Time matchup because for both of these players, it's time for the season on the line. We've got Kyle versus Monty, 3-6 versus 2-7. Definitely a must-win, can't lose for both. Monty really needs Hurts to go nuclear. AJ Brown, Breece Hall, Neighbors, James Conner, they need to get back into it. And Kyle, I don't think you really need any nuclear, like someone going crazy off their projections, but you just need Gibbs, Jamar Chase, Flowers to be on that same level they've been at. But otherwise, I don't think you need any crazy big numbers. You just need a lot of consistency. RJ, what's the book feeling about this one?
Yeah, said it earlier in the group. I think this is the biggest Week 10 matchup that this league has ever seen.
Of all time.
Most implications. Monty a game back, but does have the current head-to-head matchup. One of his style. A season sweep would be huge for him. I mean, it would be everything. A Monty loss here pretty much means it's over for him. We get started Thursday with Zay Flowers and Jamar going for you, Kyle. Jamar seeing the worst pass defense in the league. If Nico is back, massive, as the Lions are the third worst pass defense in the league. Tough matchups for Gibbs and Jaden Daniels, however, seeing because they're seeing a top 3 defense in their respective positions. Bink gets started Sunday morning, 9:30 Eastern, with Malik Neighbors playing over in Ukraine. So that's always a tough environment over there. The book sees it not as a season sweep for the Bink, especially if you go back, Kyle -5.5.
Going back to 2021, I am the best 3-6 team in league history in terms of points per game. Wow. I'm averaging 115 points a game. Last year, RJ, you were 3-6, and you were averaging 113.6.
Jeez.
And then the next closest was Trevor, who was averaging 109. Wow. If I don't win this, I don't know. Everything about this screams I should win by 20. I'm not going to. I'll just say that now. I know that won't happen.
How do you feel the projections have you within a point?
I was going to play Likely, but I don't know if Likely's going to play, so I picked up Kincaid. Since Bowers is on a bye, and then I still haven't quite figured out what my flex situation is going to be, especially if Nico doesn't go. I don't know how accurate. Like, does the sportsbook take the projections into your spreads at all?
Oh, hello? Did I lose you guys?
I got you. Maybe.
Hello.
There, you're back.
I'm frozen.
There, you're back.
Hello? Okay, cool. What did you say, Kyle? Did you say something to me?
Does the sportsbook use the projections?
Oh, no.
Okay.
They say it's all.
Yeah, because I don't ever really look at them either. I mean, so I don't really care, Ted.
Okay.
Wait, what happened?
There. Sorry.
I was worried Kyle got
somebody
taken
called.
out.
No, sorry. Somebody called me. Yeah, some guy at work was calling me. Whatever. This is more important. Yeah. Don't ever say I'm not loyal to the league. I'll take myself with the points. Why not?
Wow.
I like it.
That's going to be a huge matchup.
It's going to mean everything.
That's the entire season. This is basically, do you get $2,000 or do you have to wear the shirt?
Mm-hmm.
It's basically first and worst matchup.
Yeah.
Whew. Well, that is all the Week 10 preview. I think this league, it could definitely, some sides are showing to this league. It was pretty close, but things are starting to separate.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I think
Big
we
time.
separate more.
We definitely haven't seen this type of separation. Usually, I feel like it's just one top team. Now I feel like we have, you and Trevor, I'm right there, Kev's right there, and then the separation kind of begins.
And then Kyle, I did hear you say that you were the best 3-6 team in league history since 2021. I thought that was a very interesting.
No, ever.
Oh, is that ever?
Yeah, that was ever.
Well, yeah, that'll be ever because of the half point PPR. There's no way before that anybody was. So, yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I only went back and looked to 2021, but unless somebody was going absolutely nuts, I don't think that would be possible without.
I think
PPR.
Marco in 2013 was going crazy. If I remember. Well, yeah. Unless you guys have anything, Kyle, do you have anything you want to say? You are the leader in the guest pick'em.
Hopefully, keep it that way. Yeah.
At 3-1.
No, I don't have any closing remarks. I should probably call this guy back. So.
Well, then why don't we wrap things up? As always, thanks for listening to the Zions of Football Fantasy Football League Fantasy Football Podcast. Make sure to get those bets in for the Thursday night game. Be sure to follow us on all socials, except for Twitter. Fuck you, Kevin. At ZFFFL Pod on all major platforms. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And as always, fuck you,
Trevor.